Good morning, children. Now we have come to the Unit 10, the Economic Botany. In this chapter, we will be discussing two topics are there. That is chapter number, it is 9 under the Unit 10, that is plant breeding. In this chapter, we are going to discuss that what do we mean by economic botany, and when the human being had the relationship with the plants, and what are the biofertilizers can be used for eco-friendly environment, to maintain the eco-friendly environment, and what are the different types of biofertilizers can be utilized for the growth of plants. At the same time, the environment also will be not affected and we will be getting the productivity. So these are the different things we are going to discuss, and main thing we will be discussing, that is plant breeding, the technique by which the productivity and the different criteria can be introduced into the crop plant for our benefit. So all these things we are going to discuss in this topic. Now first one, economic botany, I told that one, that is the objective. We learn from here, appreciate the relationship between human and plants, recognize the origin in agriculture, perceive the importance of organic agriculture, and understand the different conventional methods of plant breeding. All these things we are going to discuss. Conventional usual methods of plant breeding to improve the variety of crops. Now, economic botany is the study of the relationship between people and the economically important plants. It explores the way, explores means it finds out. That means economic botany, its main aim to find out the plants that can be used by the human being for its benefit, for different aspects. So it explores the way by which the humans use these plants for different aspects, food, medicine, and other uses also. Economic botany, it is having the relationship with other branches of biology also. Intersects, not only biology, some other branches also it is having the relationship. Many fields, including established disciplines such as agronomy. What do you mean by agronomy? Now, the science of using plants, animals, and soils. That means in which type of environment plants and animals can grow. That branch of biology is called agronomy. Anthropology, scientifically the study of social and human, the relationship, humanity, society and human being, how they are related. That is called anthropology. Archaeology, the archaeology is, I have written also, the study of past plant fossils. Archaeology, what are the different types of plants are there when plants came on this earth at first, what type of plants are there, that we can find out from fossil records, which is called archaeology. Chemistry and trade and commerce. So these are the different fields are intersected by this economic botany. So that is the introduction. Now we are going to say relationship between humans and plants. From the very early time, human beings have coexisted with plants, because human beings, they used to have the plant products as their food. So they used to have the close relationship with the plants. Nowadays also we are getting the varieties of plants. Actually those plants, these plants were in wild condition. But human being, its knowledge and its scientific advancement, those wild plants have been domesticated, and nowadays we are getting as food plants. Not only food, for medicinal purpose also we are using, for fiber purpose we are using, different ways human being is directly dependent on the plants. So from the early times, human beings have coexisted with the plants, which played a vital role in their survival. Through a long process of trial and error, our ancestors have selected hundreds of wild plants from the various parts of the world for the specific use. The knowledge of the plants and its application have led to the development of humans and their civilization in many ways. Now next part, domestication of plants. With the advancement of its knowledge, human beings' knowledge, and the development of science also, we can say the human being have started to grow those plants that are having the benefit to the human being. So domestication is nothing but the process of bringing a plant species under the control of human. In case of animal also we are saying under the control of humans. Similarly plants also. And gradually changing it through careful selection. Which plants are needed we can use successfully for our benefit. Gradually changing it through careful selection, genetic alteration and handling so that it is more useful to the people. Now domesticated species are renewable species. Whatever we are cultivating more and more, that is called the renewable species. That means we can grow again and again and we can get the productivity that are provided food and other benefits to the human being. Now next one, the possible changes. What are the human being made those plants, wild plants, they had domesticated. But what are the changes are brought to those plant species for its benefit, for the benefit of human being? So few points have been given. First one is called adaptation to a greater diversity of environments and wide geographical range so that we can get the plant species throughout the world through genetic changes or through increasing the adaptive capacity of the plants. The plants are growing now throughout the world in different geographical areas. That is the first change had taken place, had brought by the human being. Simultaneous and uniform flowering and fruiting. Flower and fruit we can get from those plants. Lack of scattering or scattering of seeds. Wasting. Lack of scattering means lack of wasting. We are not, most of the seeds which are produced by the plants should not be wasted so that we can grow, or the seeds can be used for our benefit, or we can grow the new plants also, which is called the lack of scattering and scattering of seeds. Scattering and scattering both are more or less same word. Wasting of the seeds are not taking place. That had been reduced. Next one, increased size of fruits and seeds. That is another benefit. Product will be more, so population also will be getting the more and more benefit. Change from perennial to annual habit. Instead of growing a plant for so many years, it has been changed into annual plant. That means within 1 year we can get the product. Instead of waiting for so many years, we can get within a year the product. Change from perennial to annual habit. Change in breeding system. The fertilization process also has been changed. Increased yield, that also change had taken place. Increased resistance to disease and pest. That variety also has been developed to get the more and more productivity. Developing seedless parthenocarpic fruits. Again, the edible part can be increased by developing the parthenocarpic fruits. Enhancing color and appearance, palatability, nutritional composition. Quality of the seed or food plants have also been increased by increasing the color, appearance, palatability, tasty, and the nutritional composition. There are different types of nutrients have been. Genes have been introduced. Nowadays we are saying that different types of genes can be introduced into the plant so that we can get the different products also. So these are the different changes had taken place to the crop plants nowadays which are using, that had been done by scientific methods. Now origin of agriculture. Archaeological evidence, I mean from the fossil records it had been found out that earliest record of agriculture is found in the fertile crescent region in and around Tigris and Euphrates river valleys approximately 12,000 years ago. The earlier Greek and Roman naturalists like Theophrastus, Dioscorides, Pliny the Elder, and the Galen laid down the scientific foundation in understanding origin and domestication of the cultivated plants. Now next what we are going to say about the organic agriculture. Organic farming in zoology also we have discussed. Organic farming is an alternative agriculture system which originated early in the 20th century. That means 1900 onwards it has been started. Century in reaction to rapidly changing the farming practices. Farming system has rapidly been changed by the use of biofertilizers or organic products, organic substances to increase the productivity. It is the production system, it is a productive system that sustains the health of the soil's ecosystem, at the same time the health of the people. That is the main idea. Fertility of the soil will be to be maintained, ecosystem also to be maintained, and automatically the human health also can be restored, can be maintained. It relies on ecological processes, biodiversity, and the cycles adapted to local conditions rather than the use of input with adverse effects. Biodiversity and cycles adapted to local conditions. Cycles by geochemical cycles to be adapted to local conditions rather than the use of inputs and adverse effects, rather than of using chemical fertilizers. And after that its adverse effect will be there. So automatically the soil can be maintained its fertility content by using the organic substances. So soil fertility also can be maintained. Ecosystem at the same time will be not too much abrupt changes will be taking place. At the same time human being also will be getting benefit. That these are the advantages of organic agriculture. Now biofertilizers, that will be discussed in the next class. Okay, thank you children.